We all think about recycling, it's just, I throw something in the bin, it goes away and it gets recycled. Simple, right? But the truth is, there's nothing simple about recycling. Every city has a different recycling infrastructure, and in some cities, recycling just doesn't exist.
Okay, so what is recycling contamination, and why does it matter? Recycling contamination is when the wrong items are placed in recycling bins, or recyclable items being prepared incorrectly or contaminated before being recycled. On the right, here's a couple things that you need to watch out for, such as check acceptable materials, because each city and state have different codes and regulations for the recyclables. Also, you need to be aware of hazardous materials and food residue, because a lot of materials can be recycled, such as plastic bags, and a lot of items cannot be recycled due to the residue that they have on them. Also, you need to know that collecting is not recycling. Just because you collect items that you think are recyclable and recycle them does not mean that all those items can be recycled. Before you recycle, you must make sure that the items you're going to recycle are recyclable. If you must, check the item for recycling markings or look online to see if that item is recyclable or not. Items that cannot be recycled are sharp objects, plastic bags, which according to ecocycle.org are the worst contaminant in recycling. They can only be recycled if they reach recycling plants clean, dry, and empty, yet only 1% of plastic bags are in good enough condition to recycle, which is what makes them the worst items to recycle. Other non-recyclable items are batteries, food, explosives, and tanglers. Items that are recyclable are cardboard, plastic bottles or jugs, aluminum cans, steel or tin cans, chipboard, paper, and glass. The golden rule of recycling is you must only recycle an item that is clean. If your recyclables have residue, grease, oil, etc., you cannot recycle them. Next, I want to show some clips from a new emerging e-waste collection organization called EARTH, E-R-T-H, which emphasize really how the installation of healthy recycling techniques can solve our problem of recycling contamination.
I think we have seen an amazing boom in the adoption of personal electronic devices over the last decade. That success of making billions of people use technology also kind of came at the expense of hurting the environment. The world produces about 50 million tons of e-waste every year. Humanity is contaminating things that are not easily replaceable in our planet. This is really a serious issue and we have to deal with it. Earth has so far collected more than 15 tons of e-waste, but still the challenge ahead of us is really, really large. To solve the problem, we have to work on increasing people's awareness of e-waste. You want to know what happens with e-waste at the end of it when it's recycled? It's extremely important to educate the students.
Oh my God.
Once they recognize that this is the thing that they should do, I think that as they grow older, they will also keep this same philosophy or belief and then instill it in their own families and their own communities.
EARTH is only one of thousands of recycling corporations that advocate the need for recycling awareness. According to these corporations, the most important thing that we can do to combat recycling contamination is inform the public. If people recycle correctly, because they have the knowledge, recycling contamination will be nearly as big of an issue as it is now. So we must implement these ideas into the public if we want to truly put an end to recycling contamination.